What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Stocks by the Numbers. And today I wanted to take a quick look at Lordstown Motors Corporation, RIDE, here on the NASDAQ. As you can see, max chart down roughly 80%. And I just want to start off saying this is going to be a purely speculative play. So, if you don't really understand why this has been decreasing, I want you to look at some of these numbers. Because as you can see, the company is not doing any business. And, this is a max chart, obviously. It was trending, got a lot of volume, popped up to the mid-20s, high 20s, and then has just been selling off and bleeding, and now we're down here at $2 a share. And if we switch over here, I drew these trend lines. We could say that we're slightly in a descending wedge, and we could see a pop-up here, a technical analysis. But, long term, if we just draw these out, we're just in a down channel here. We're in a downward channel, just slowly selling off. And if you switch over here to the news, right, they talk about new CEO, blah blah blah. But more importantly, right, Lordstown Motors closes sale of Ohio facility, supposedly to Foxconn. And see this. This is what confuses me, right? Because I don't understand why you would do that. Because the way I'm looking at it now is not to be negative, but this is basically worthless. This is basically worthless. Because I almost feel like they took themselves out of the game. And I just want to remind everyone that this is going to be a pure speculative play. Right? See, the problem is a lot of younger people or uninformed investors. I just say younger people because more often than not, it's a younger trader or investor who, buys at the highs and then gets completely crushed. And, they're turned off by the market and they don't believe in any of these stocks now long term. And, the problem is that this is a pure speculation play. So just like we saw with Tesla back in the day, Tesla shares were kind of just chilling when they IPO'd. And a lot of people even jumped on immediately, just bashing Elon Musk, calling him a dreamer, it's never going to happen, we don't need electric vehicles. So the stock really didn't do much initially. And then what happened? He actually started producing the vehicles, but then more importantly, there was demand for the vehicles. Right? So you increase supply, and then the demand followed. And then what you were seeing is steady increases quarter over quarter, year over year, revenue growth. Then the company went net income positive, like in 2020 sometime. And boom, the stock absolutely exploded. And any long-term shareholder made phenomenal profits hand over fist. But you have to remember, just because a new company gets listed on an exchange, goes public, and everyone's talking about it, and it's on the homepage of every financial website and app that you open and look at, does not mean that it has to go higher. Just because they're in the EV space, that does not make this the next Tesla. So if this company relinquished its Ohio facility and most of its assets to Foxconn, another company, then basically I have to assume that possibly this company has some of its own IP, which stands for intellectual property. I'm hoping it has some of that on the back burner itself and can start to generate business down through a different avenue, because otherwise this is basically worthless, right? And the thing with these startup companies and whatnot, see, we're looking at a market cap of about 400 million. The one thing I noticed is these companies usually stay between, I'd say about like 500 million to like 1.5 billion. Right? So down at 400 million, understandable. Again, there was no revenue coming in, just consistent losses year over year. Seeing slow growth here off the losses. But at the same time, remember, to reiterate, it is about the revenue coming in and the future potential of the company, right? Because if we back up here, it popped up to the mid-20s, high 20s, and then it's been in this downward channel. If they did have, a lot of potential, if these economists, if these analysts really did see this as a viable long-term option, then it would have stayed like around here, right? Like the low teens even, or the high teens, right? It would have been like fluctuating around here. So the fact that it's just been slowly and steadily decreasing, and now here, I think it was May, right? Let's go back to that news article. Where was it? There you go. Closes sale of Ohio facility, May 12th. Right? So here we go. May 11th. Had a low of $1.50. Boom. They complete the sale, and we see a spike up to $2.73. But apparently it was short-lived, because now you fast forward a couple of weeks later, and you're back down to $1.50. $1.51 here is the low. So you can say this was like a double bottom, and boom, now we're coming up back to the top of the range, could potentially get to 2.25. But, I just wanted to do a quick video because, again, I'm a very honest guy. Maybe there's something I missed, something I don't know about the company that you might know. If you see some future potential, if there's something in the pipeline that they're about to, come out with, or, blow the doors off the competition with, drop it down in the comments section below so the rest of the community could, understand the future potential of a company like Lordstown Motors. But again, in my opinion, this is just purely speculation. And if it hits the top of this downward channel here, we'll say 2.25, and then it pulls back again to $1.50 or like $1.25, that is completely justified. Because as of right now, nothing is going on. So if the company, again, actually does start to bring in revenue, just like Tesla did back in the day, they start actually making products, selling it to its consumers, and starts generating revenue, and we see consistent increases quarter over quarter, and we can potentially see the growth in market share and the potential for the company to go net income positive, then you can definitely start seeing runs up to high single digits, and potentially even back up to 10, 12, 15, or even $20 a share. But if you're getting involved in this one, I just want to reiterate, this is pure speculation in my opinion. And if you are looking for astronomical growth, you're probably going to be locked in for a while. So if you're a younger investor who likes to buy shares and hold them for a couple of months and then flip them for nice profits, this is probably not going to be the play for you, unless a big upgrade comes, or again, an analyst raises their price target, or if you have an activist, like Buffett or Carl Icahn step in and take a 10-15% stake into the company. Otherwise I don't see much happening. And again, maybe because I personally don't know much about the company, but, again, on the flip side, I'm asking you guys to, kind of give me a break on this one, because, as I mentioned before, there are now so many EV players. And the fact that people just start up an EV company, they go public, they haven't started doing any business or producing any EVs, and you guys take it up a few 100% from IPO and expect it to be the next Tesla. I mean, it just doesn't work like that. And unfortunately, that's what we saw with a company like Ride. So everyone who got in early, high teens, $20, $25, $30 a share, now you're sitting here at $2 a share. This is Max Payne's situation. So I know it's an EV company. I know a lot of people saw EV, so they just hit the buy button. I get it. I understand. But, just remember, there are, a lot of other companies that are actually doing business, that are consistently increasing their revenue, and they are still viewed potentially as undervalued. So that's what I always try to tell people. If you're looking for investments long-term, you want a company that nothing's guaranteed, but you want a company that you can say, quote unquote, like, I know that in 3, 4, 7 years, this company is still going to be around, their business is still going to be growing, people are still going to want their products and services, and the stock's going to be worth, a heck of a lot more than it is right now. Getting in here at $2, can it go back to 20 long term? Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything is possible. But just remember, if they continue down this path here, downward channel, with no revenue coming in, you can't put value on it. And that's the point I'm trying to make. When I look at companies like Ride, and even when I look at companies like Mullen, I know a lot of you guys looking at Mullen again, like any of these car makers, everyone thinks they're going to be the next Tesla, and they're not. You cannot make comparisons like that, because every business, every stock is different. Tesla is Tesla, and Ride will be Ride, and Mullen will be Mullen. So just keep that in mind moving forward. Again, short term, we can see a rise here up to low 2s, back to the top of the range, and then it could, of course, pull back. If we do adjust our trend lines here, we could say that potentially we're in like a descending wedge, and we could see a pop out. I mean, listen, anything is possible, but that's what kind of bothers me about technical analysis, right? Because if it's just forming some random pattern and then pops up, it'll most likely within a week or two sell off, everyone will take profits, and it'll drop back down into the downward channel that it's in because the company is not doing any business. So, very speculative play. Just want to reiterate that again for like the 5th time. Very speculative play. Nothing is guaranteed. And until we see actual business coming in and revenues increasing, there is no justification for this to go higher other than a short-term pattern, a little breakout, and then you might see profit taking and have it come right back down to these low levels. So, I know it's an EV company, and I know a lot of people are involved, have been looking at it, or want it to go to the moon, and I just wanted to throw my 2 cents, throw my hat into the rink, and, just give you guys my slant on it. If you agree, let me know in the comment section below. If you think I'm a fool and it's going back to 20 and I have no idea what I'm talking about, again, I always welcome all viewpoints. Drop it down in the comment section below. Love to have a little back and forth on a company like this, because I'm sure they might have a couple of things in the pipeline that I'm not aware of. But until those things actually bring in revenue, this does not justify a higher stock price. But again, that's just my opinion. So once again, this is Stocks by the Numbers. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Everyone on YouTube says the same thing. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Helps out the algorithm, helps me get a few more eyes on the channel. If you like the content I'm putting out, hit the subscribe button. Got your little bell icon, boom. Give you a notification every time I put out a video. And like I always say, moving forward, I know markets are rocky. I know they're a little volatile and uncertain in these times. So moving forward, I wish everyone success. I hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. And thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.